Hey, what's up guys? This is Motocross Action. We're out here at the Mammoth Motocross. I'm here with my son Nixyn D'Errico, and this is his KTM 65 SX. All right guys, we're super excited to be up here for the 2023 Mammoth Motocross. One of the challenges with these two strokes, and especially these small bikes, is the altitude. So we're gonna dive into it and discuss what we do in order to make this bike run and rip up here in the hills. Before we get into details of the bike, a special shout out to FXR for sponsoring this trip. FXR makes tons of different colorways for all ages and sizes. My son Nixyn will be running FXR gear all week, as well as a bunch of other riders out here. Make sure you go check them out at fxrracing.com. So as I mentioned earlier, one of the challenges is the altitude out here. For that, we relied on a couple different companies to provide us some extra horsepower. Starting off with R&D Motors. They built us an amazing package for up here. I also want to mention Pro Circuit. They gave us a pipe, exhaust, and also the air boot, which is something unique. So with R&D Motorworks, they built us an amazing package for the race up here. They did some adjustments to the top end, the piston, while also fine-tuning the bottom end of this bike. One thing also unique to R&D is he messes with some of the ignition timing. So he has an ignition switch in the bike here underneath the seat to where we get up here at the altitude, and he's so dialed in with having so many years of experience up here in Mammoth, able to just flip the switch and the bike's ready to go. With Pro Circuit, we have the full exhaust system. As you can see, what also we have that you can't see is the air boot. The air boot actually provides a lot more airflow with the thinner air up here. Absolutely essential to make sure that we're getting enough air and oxygen to that motor. For graphics, we went with Roost MX. You know, kids got to look good, feel good, race good. So you can see we have a great looking set of graphics here on the bike. With our wheels, we went with Nackstar's new hub, along with their new package with Excel rims. Really beefs it up as we're racing out here in the rocks. Want to also shout out Maxxis. Maxxis provided us their tires for up here in Mammoth. Again, great package for off-road here with all the rocks and debris that the kids are racing through. Moving on, we have our ASV levers, our unbreakable levers. As you can see, they can bend any which way. So, you know, as these little guys take a dip over every now and then, they're not gonna break. All right, at the controls of the bike, we have Pro Taper providing us their new Fusion bar. With also their grips. We went with the half waffle option here on this bike. And then lastly, we also have the Flow foot pegs, giving the bikes a little bit more extra grip when their riders are having to stand on the pegs, and they're pretty durable as well. Also mentioning on the throttle setup, we have a T-Rex throttle, amazing package that they provide with their cable, super easy to twist and also pretty durable and not gonna break on you if we have a crash. T-Rex also provided us an upper clamp. This clamp is supposed to be a lot more sturdy and a lot more strong for when the crashes happen, but also improve handling. Moving along, ETS provided us the fuel. We're running some oxygenated fuel up here because of the altitude. So ETS provides us the fuel to make sure that this bike's firing and is on all cylinders, right? We got Nihilo provided us with some of the hard parts on this, some of the oil cap. We have a stator engraved custom setup from Nihilo along with some grip tape. And then of course the heat shield. Because of the altitude, we wanna make sure that fuel's staying nice and cool and not overheating. Moto Seat provided us the seat cover with a little bit of a bump. Some of these younger riders sometimes struggle with keeping their bottom up here on the front part of the seat. So thanks to Moto Seat here, provided us a nice gripper seat package, but also with the bump. And also with the air piece, again, because it's so unique up here with the altitude, we also have Twin Air's air filter, which allows us to get a little bit more oxygen flowing through that air boot that I mentioned with Pro Circuit. Works Connection provided us the whole shot device. Not sure if we're gonna be needing it on the cement, but it's always good to have just in case. This piece is durable, it'll stay on the bike, for all time. Providing suspension, we went with AEO. AEO does amazing work with the big bikes. Obviously they got a lot of bikes out racing on the professional circuit. Well, they also do mini bike packages as well. So we got AEO suspension here, front forks and shock all dialed in by those guys. So the bike's set for riders' height, weight, and experience level. Lastly, because of the altitude and the heat, we have a pressure, high temperature radiator cap provided by Nihilo. with also the overflow hose. So obviously Mammoth has a rich history of Mammoth Motocross. We're very excited to be back here for our 3rd year. This is my son's 1st year in the 10 to 11 class. He's going to be racing against some of the best here on the West Coast. This is essentially like a West Coast Loretta's for us. Great few days of racing set ahead, and we're excited to get going. So because Mammoth is known for its rocks, we rely on a Cherubies plastic and these hand guards right here, like I'm putting them on. Keep the knuckles clean from debris. Oh, geez. Get that drop at the end? Mixing gas here for our KTM 65, thanks to Blenzol. Gonna put this in our ETS fuel and get it ready to rock for the second moto. Yeah, so cleaning the bike right now, using our Moto Muck here. Loosens the dirt up nice and good, getting the bike nice and shiny. Gets the bike nice and clean, get us ready for the next moto here. Thanks Moto Muck for providing this, making my job a whole lot easier.
And each is just all blue, receiving. They come across the finish line and complete lap number.
All right guys, well that wraps up Mammoth Motocross 2023. I want to say a special thank you to all the companies that joined on for this bike project. Bike worked great up here in the altitude. Like I mentioned before, the altitude presents its challenges. We got rocks, we got bumps. Bike handled great, looked great, ran great. So again, thank you so much to all the companies. We can't wait to do another project next year for 2024. All right, Nix, well tell us how the bike worked up here at Mammoth Motocross, up here in the altitude.
Felt really good, sound good, worked well, brakes were good for this high of altitude. And
how about the suspension?
Suspension, nice.
Yeah, how about the tires? How about Max's tires?
Max's tires,
yeah.
are good.
How about that Pro Circuit exhaust and that air boot?
Hauls.
Yeah, bike was hauling, yeah. R&D motor had that thing dialed right. Yep. ETS fuels had it working great. Bike looked good too, man. We got a lot of people turning their heads looking at this bike, huh?
Sexy.
Yeah, you can't say sexy on camera, do you?
Yeah, you can.
No, you can say it looks good, man. Look good, feel good. Don't say sexy. Bonehead.
Why?
All right, so how do you think the bike worked?
Good.
Good? Happy with it, the performance of it?
Yep.
How about how it looked?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Thank you again for all the, stay tuned for all these Mammoth videos. Oh my God.
See, it's harder than things. All right, I'll talk. I'll talk. All right, I'll talk. All right. Thank you again, everyone, and please stay tuned. We got a lot more Mammoth videos coming at you. All right, before we get into the details of all of this bike, start over. All the riders. Oh my God, how did I mess that part up? Make sure you guys stay tuned. We got a lot more Bleh. Jeez, yeah, talking too fast. God, dude, it's burning my hands. No, you're on camera. You could do something. Do something goofy.